This is the big conflict, family and work. Everybody has it at some point. So, what we have is somebody who says, family is my number one value, and I also value work. Why? Because it's a means to making my family have more financial security. My answer for that is you don't so much manage it as you understand it, you survive it, and you understand the paradox of what you're doing. What ends up happening is if we don't have language around it, we say, work's driving me crazy, my blah, 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 blah. And actually what you need to do is just say, I've got a value of family centrism that often puts me in conflict with work. But interestingly, I also value work because it allows me to make a better life for my family. This is one of those values conflicts that I have very good news for you about. It gets better. Okay, because it's typically worse when you've got young children. Okay, and you're like young children make you lose all control of your life, and they have schedules that make work very hard. And I have lived through it. It's over for me now, thank God. And one of my things that I like to do when I see parents who are struggling with this family and work conundrum, when they're right in the thick of it, when their kids are young, and is I try to say to them, it's going to get better. And I want to actually share this one thought with you. The reason why this particular values conflict is so darn hard has to do with what? It has to do with biology, and it has to do with our culture. And that, just hear me out for a second. The time when your children need you the most is sort of typically, and if you have children in sort of in the normal age range when people have children, the time your children need you the most is sort of when you're between 22 and 45, okay? And the time when work needs you to be the most available is when you're sort of between 25 and 45. So there's this overlapping period where work values your availability and your family does too, okay? And it's killer. It's like I remember when I was going through it, I remember thinking to myself, those women who had their children when they were 18 knew what they were doing because they sort of got the children on the road before work started to need them. And there's no escaping this biological conundrum. But there is managing it at the edges, which is what you end up doing every single day, doing it. But I would say the one thing I would do is I'd be very, very open with my family about why I'm working so much. But I'd also do the very bold and brave thing that's very, very helpful. And it helped me a lot when I did it, which is I said to my kids, I love my work. I'm not going to apologize to you for working. I love it, and it's part of my life. And one day you will grow up and go away, and I will still be here, and my work will be part of my life. And so you have two choices. You can help me, or you can resist me. And I'm going to help you live your values if you would help me live my values too. These were magical words that I used with my children, and they really changed my life. So I put them out there for you to think about and try out. And I hope that helps a little bit, maybe not a lot of bit, but I have to say the conflict you have is shared by humanity, and it's just something that we all individually invent and reinvent. And having language